Hey everybody, Matt here for AVC and welcome back to the shop. Today we're going to be applying our LizardSkin coatings to this Ford Transit High Roof 148. If you're not familiar with LizardSkin products, go ahead and check out that overview video. It is linked in the description below. Let's get to work. First things first, let's talk about safety. Now, LizardSkin is a non-toxic product, so we don't really have to worry about fumes, anything like that, but we are going to be spraying it. So we do want to make sure we're wearing some kind of a respirator, whether that's just a regular dust mask, an N95 if you happen to have one of those around, or if you have some proper dust filters for your respirator, that's really great. This is not a case where we need to be wearing an organic vapor cartridge. It's actually gonna ruin your organic vapor cartridge, so go ahead and save that for its correct application. I'm also gonna be wearing some over ears. The compressor's loud and it gets monotonous. These 3M ears, they're called Shop Tunes. They actually Bluetooth to my phone so I can listen to music, which is cool. And I'm gonna be wearing some rubber gloves because we don't want that stuff on our hands. So with our safety stuff out of the way, let's get to work. So our first step is gonna be prep our interior surfaces. This van is pretty much factory brand new, so we just wanna degrease everything. As the manufacturer recommended, just go ahead and prep all the surfaces with acetone. So I just have acetone, my gloves, and we're just gonna wipe everything down in here. So our first step is going to be mixing up our product. We just have like a big cement paddle mixer here from the big box store. We're gonna put that in the product on a 1/2-inch drill. You know, a little battery drill is probably gonna get worked out on this. And then we're just gonna mix it for about 45 seconds, a few times. So it says not to over mix it. We don't wanna whip it. We're just gonna get everything mixed up and then get it ready to spray. Let's do this. All right, so we are halfway through our application of the sound dampener, and I wanted to pause and give you a few tricks of things that we've learned over our application here in the shop. The first is that undercoating gun from Amazon that I was starting with absolutely sucked, and that thing is garbage. I've used it in the past, and I think it might work fine for the ceramic shield, but this sound dampener is so much thicker that thing was never gonna cut it, and so I ditched it. I ended up hacking our Raptor liner gun, and I've used a 3M paint system that we use here in the shop to be my hopper for the material, and that's nice because it has interchangeable liners. It's pressurizing really well, it's spraying really well, and it's not giving me that softball size spray pattern that LizardSkin says you want. It's giving me about a $1/2 or maybe like 2.5-inch, 3-inch circle, but that 2-inch circle is really accurate. So when I'm doing things like spraying inside of doors, things like that, I think it's actually kind of nice to get that real tight uniform spray pattern. We do have a LizardSkin brand gun coming, and so we're gonna test that one out too, just so we can compare all three methods. I was talking to the rep and they told me that doing one thick application of the sound dampener is totally fine. And after spraying the van, I think that's definitely the way to go. I would just go hot and heavy inside of all the compartments everywhere I can. I wouldn't bother with coming back for a second coat. I'm saving some, we're gonna spray the floor here as well. And he said definitely just do one big thick coat on the floor as you work your way out. I think going real thick is just gonna save you more time. Go a little bit slower, add that product up and really layer it, and I think that's gonna work better. The last thing I wanna mention is keeping a wet rag handy. Because this is a water-based formula, we can just wipe things down to clean a surface if we get some overspray. And the key is cleaning that overspray up really quick. It dries in about 30 minutes. So if I messed up somewhere over here and I kept on going to the other side of the van, by the time I got back to clean it up, it's gonna be dry and stuck to the van, so I'm not gonna be able to clean it up. So just keep a wet rag handy and clean those drips or that overspray as you go. I'm gonna suit up and get back to spraying. Here goes round 2. So we finished spraying our sound dampening coatings, and it ended up taking us all day long to spray everything here in the van. We went ahead and took a break, and we're here the next day ready to spray our thermal coatings. Now, if you're a little bit quicker than I am and you're ready to just go ahead and jump into your thermals on day 1, go ahead and do that. There's no reason to wait. For us, it took us a little bit longer because we were figuring things out and filming. So here we are, day 2. Let's jump right in. We're ready to start mixing up our thermal coating, and this one is a little more sensitive to the mixing. So we wanna make sure we mix it nice and slow. We wanna do it in about 15-second intervals, and then maybe up to 2 minutes worth of mixing. They say just don't over mix it. You'll end up breaking down the consistency of the product. So we can go ahead and mix this thing up and get ready to spray. With our product mixed up, we poured it, or rather scooped it into our LizardSkin hopper here. The stuff is pretty thick, so it doesn't really pour very easily, so I ended up having to just like scoop it out with my fingers and kind of dollop it into the can. We are gonna be using the LizardSkin gun today, so I do think we're gonna have a little bit better luck with this sprayer, which I'm stoked about. The big thing with this layer is gonna be applying it to the correct thickness. So we do have a little thickness gauge that we can press into the wall to check our thickness as we go. We don't wanna over apply this product for each coat. So 2 millimeters at a time. We don't wanna over apply. If we over apply, it's gonna crack as it dries, and we wanna avoid that. So thin coats, multiple coats. We're gonna spray all 5 gallons. Let's get to it. Alrighty, so we are 4 gallons in, and I think we're gonna call it a wrap for now. I'm gonna reserve 1 extra gallon so that I can hit up some extra areas in case we have some mud cracking or there's some thin spots that'll show themselves after this dries a little bit. I have to say, using the LizardSkin gun is 100% worth the money. The bigger fill tube, the applicator, everything, it was a much smoother process today. So very pleased, worth the money if you're gonna be doing this project. Our next steps are gonna be cutting in our windows. So you see some blank spaces behind me. We left those blank because we're gonna be cutting those out, so there's no sense in wasting time or product on those. For now, that's it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.